Hello everyone, this is Monique and I'm back with another project for Wild Orchid Crafts on behalf of their YouTube design team, The Wild Bunch. So for this week's project, I'm showing you a mini album that I created for my friend Monica. Hi Monica. So I actually used the Die Cuts with a View Immortal Loves paper stack for this. Now everybody knows how much I love metal, so I had to use metal in this album. The one thing about Monica, she loves bling. So you're going to see a lot of bling, and actually all of the rhinestones and stuff I used they're actually Swarovski crystals because I wanted them to be extra shiny for her. So this is the cover. I'm just going to bring it up a little bit closer here. I titled it Forever Yours. This Forever was on the paper already, and you can see it's kind of glittery. It was already a glittered paper. I used the Tim Holtz ornate plate here, and I just typed the yours on like a champagne shimmer paper on my printer and put it in behind and covered it with glossy accents. You can see I gave it a distressed look, and actually the reason I did this was because this word forever was too close to the bottom of the paper. So you can see I've actually used a different color paper to go around the edge of the album. And I've torn off the corner here, and I've also curled the paper here. So by the ornate plate here, I've got several Wild Orchid Crafts products. I have an open rose and a couple of different closed rosebuds in a couple of different sizes. There's a 4 and a 5 millimeter here. And I also have a couple of the small leaves. As usual, what I'll do is I'll just leave a list of all the products I've used down in the description box below, and you can have a look at the different sizes and the codes. Here's actually a metal corner from Tim Holtz. You can see I've added a bunch of the crystals on the ends of all the flourishes. And this lower right hand corner here, I also have it packed full of Wild Orchid Crafts products. I have some feathers here from my stash. I also have this flourish that was cut from the Tim Holtz Elegant Flourishes die, and then I UD'd it with a pewter UD. I've got 2 of the Gypsophila stems there. Got some hip rosebuds here. I've got 4 of them. A couple different lilies. This is one of the wild rosebuds. This is one of the large wild roses, and this is a small curly wild rose. I've got this metal wing that I also adhered to the cover here, and this is a Wild Orchid Crafts stick pin. Several beads from my stash, and right along the bottom of the stick pin is a metal bead cap from Wild Orchid Crafts. You'll also see that I have several different sized leaves stuck in all at the edges of the flowers there. For the binding, what I did was I actually used elastic hair bands, and I've got them coming through here, and I've just used some jump rings as stops. I added this tassel and crisscross chain on the binding. This here is a piece of black leather that I wrapped around the binding on the book, and I actually stitched 2 lines here and then put some metal brads all in there. And for the closures, this is actually a black leather belt. I don't even remember where I got it from, but I just cut 2 pieces off. I intentionally made them 2 different lengths. These here are the Tim Holtz hitch fasteners, and what I did was I took my 3/16 inch crocodile, punched a hole, and then I don't know if you can see that, I also cut a slit with my utility knife so it'll slip over the hitch fasteners. And I actually, now when there's nothing in the album, I figured that was a good closure, but once it gets thicker, I wanted her to be able to expand it, so I added the second hole here. So all you do is, now I usually pull this way because the slit's this way, pull this way and up. Of course on film it's harder to do than usual. This clip here is just what I've done is I've created some additional journaling spots for Monica so that she can actually put them throughout the album. I know she's not big on journaling, but likes to, you know, write dates and people and that kind of thing. So I left those for her. Left the inside covers fairly plain, just because there's so much going on in the rest of the album. Here I used my Martha Stewart punch, and that's actually a shimmery black paper, and I edged it all with my pewter rub and buff. So there are 6 pages. This is the first page. You can see I have a variety of the Wild Orchid Crafts blooms. This is a 2-inch daisy, and I'll go over, like I said, in the description box it'll have a list of all the blooms that I used and all the leaf sizes. Got a few crystals in the corner here, and you can see I have a little spiral clip here, and it's used just to hold these on. So there's a pretty little flourish here underneath the rose, and I actually used some stickles on it. And I put the rose in the upper corner because I didn't want to cover this saying, it says a song just for you. So what I do with all my flowers is I actually have a corner of an envelope underneath, so you can slide papers underneath. So this is the tag, and actually I put a picture mat on pretty much every page. You'll see I distressed the edges. A lot of times I curled them or tore an edge. I also did a lot of splattering with Lindy Stamp Gang. I threaded the edge of each picture mat with chain, and you'll find sometimes it goes along the bottom, sometimes the side, sometimes around a corner, so I tried to vary it that way. And I've added a little charm and this little rhinestone bling on every picture mat. So there's that picture mat, and then this is one of the pocket envelopes from Tim Holtz. I actually didn't put anything inside, but Monica can do that herself. So in the end of every pocket there's some large picture mats, and these are the Tim Holtz tags. And of course I will send her a sheet with the tabs and the covers, so that, or the stickers for the tabs, I mean. Used, I think this is a Fisker's punch. So on one side I usually have a large picture mat, on the other side I'll have a smaller picture mat with embossing, and this is like, I think it's called Age Silver. It's the Frontage embossing powder by Stampendous, and I absolutely love it. It's like some of my favorite embossing powders, that's for sure. So the back of the first page I have another flourish here that I've beautied using the pewter color again. You can see, let me bring this a little bit closer, that I've used Sweetheart Blossom, some of the flat blooms and flowers. I've also got that's one of Tim Holtz Poinsettia metal flowers. Got a lily, some more flat blooms, and I have this black Guipure lace as well from Wild Orchid Crafts. And actually all of the flowers I colored with the Lindy Stamp Gang sprays. So because of course the Immortal Love Stack is based on Twilight, and I actually have some playing cards from the Twilight game, I thought I would add these in all of the different pages. So I've got an acrylic tag here, and it's going to be really hard to see this on camera without much of a glare, but what I did was I used alcohol inks, and I used quite dark colors, and I've got a black stamp there, which is very, very difficult to see. Let me see if, yeah, it's too dark to see on camera, but, and around the edges of all the acrylic tags I've actually used the silver dauber paint. This one here is just a manila tag, and I used the Tim Holtz Distress Stains to distress it. I stamped a background stamp, and then I did this Perfect Distress, it's called, stamped in distress ink, covered it with Perfect Pearls, and then spritzed it with water so it bleeds out from behind the Perfect Pearls, and I did that on both sides. And then here's the large picture mat for this page. You can see I've got a little flower, chains all tangled around the edge here. I'll fix that later, but there's a flower with a little, what do you call it? It's like a spacer bead for the center. And then I've got a little rhinestone charm hanging off. So on the front of the second page, again, another Twilight tag. This is a metal tag which I have dry embossed, and I covered it with alcohol inks and used a sanding block. So here's another manila tag. I use the same techniques, just different stamps and different colors. And this, of course, is the large picture mat, and I just have a little Tim Holtz trinket pin, and again that little rhinestone. You can see on the back side, because I didn't want the back to be bulky, I just tore sections off the edges, kind of like I did on the corners of the front of the album. And you can see along the edge of the pocket here, I used some of the black Guipure lace from Wild Orchid Crafts. This here is like a black lace from my stash, and this here is actually a string of real rhinestones. I bought that on eBay for a good price. And sorry, I forgot to show you the tag in this pocket. There's tons of room in this album, for adding full-size pictures. Back of the second page, I really like this. This was actually a white pleated, box pleated ribbon from my stash, and I colored it gray with the Lindy Stamp Gang. I added, again, another full-size picture mat. Here I've got just charm from my stash and a little rhinestone, and the back is the trees from the paper. And here again is another one of the pocket envelopes from the Tim Holtz die. The end of the page. On the front of the third page, actually I'm going to take you back here because I want to show you what I did here on the box pleated trim up a little bit closer. I really like that. I did 2 rows of the rhinestones along the edge of a metal zipper, and I thought that was kind of a neat way of mixing up the bling in the metal, so really like how that turned out. So on the third page here, a couple of different clusters of flowers from Wild Orchid Crafts. This bauble here in the center is from my stash, but you can see I have several of the different flat blooms. Also have some of the open roses here and another sweetheart blossom. I have a natural skeleton leaf there, and these are the long stamens. You can see I used one of the silver square embellishments for creating a leaf there. And up here, again, several of the flat blooms stacked one on top of the other, some leaves and a sweetheart blossom. And actually this picture mat slides out. If you slide it down like this, it comes out quite easily. You can see I have just a spiral clip there with a rhinestone, and then the back side is just this champagne colored, and of course another Twilight tag. In the end, I have another double matted tag. So on this page, again, some more Wild Orchid Crafts flowers there, You can see I have a UD'd Flourish, Wild Orchid Crafts flowers. These are just Swarovski crystals, Sweetheart Blossom, some more stamens, a natural skeleton leaf, a couple more, I believe those are the 40mm leaves. And then I have several tags. Again, the Twilight, a acrylic tag, manila tag, and a large picture mat with a charm at the bottom. And you can see I've got a line of the Swarovski crystals there. Sorry, forgot to show you the picture mat. So on this side I have a flourish similar to this one, just to carry it over. I have a journaling spot with some more Swarovski crystals, and of course this pocket is stacked full of tags again. Some more Twilight tags. This is another metal embossed tag, manila tag, and a large picture mat with a charm on the corner there. And of course in the end pocket I have a couple of picture mats. So on this page I have, you can see this glitter paper I used to create the pocket, and I've got this dangle trim, some black trim from my stash. This is some rosette trim also from my stash, and a line of rhinestones going across the entire width of the page. I have a few tags in here, one of them being a pocket from the Tim Holtz die, an acrylic tag, and another picture mat with a charm, and I just put M there for Monica. This next page, I actually kept it quite simple because I really like the flourish on it. So all I did was I added this clip on the end here, and it's got a silver flower. And this is some of the beads from the dangle trim. I just wanted to bring it over to the other side of the page there. Got a another Twilight tag. Got this picture mat and this picture mat here. And in the end of the page, oops, guess that doesn't work very well, does it? I've got double picture mat with some embossing on it. So on this page, you can see I've used some more Wild Orchid Crafts products. This here is a Flourish die cut, which I have just put stickles on. I've got some flat blooms, some leaves, and a lily with some of the black Guipure lace from Wild Orchid Crafts. In the pocket, I have some more tags, of course, from the Twilight, a metal tag, another manila tag here, and a picture mat with a charm. And this time I have this charm that holds a bead, so I put a red Swarovski crystal in there. I really like the way that looked. So and on this page, again, some more Wild Orchid Crafts flowers. These are the daisy blooms. Have several of the leaves, some more of the natural skeleton leaves, another flourished die cut with the stickles on it, and some Swarovski crystals in the corner there. In the pocket, I have several tags, another Twilight Game tag, acrylic tag, another manila tag, and a large picture mat, the charm in the corner. And I made sure that all of the charms in the corners are different from page to page. So I like using similar techniques throughout the album. It kind of pulls everything together, but I vary them, such as the manila tags. You'll see different stamps. The charms are slightly different, and the chain is laced in different parts of the page and everything. So this is the tag at the end of this pocket. And then the last page here, again, some more Wild Orchid Crafts flowers. That center is just from a button. You can see I've got some of the long stamens, a variety of different size leaves, and this here again is another silver square embellishment from Wild Orchid Crafts that I bent it to make look like a leaf. And I've added a variety of Swarovski crystals, both black and clear, just on the edges around this center piece. So I've got, of course, another tag there from Twilight. This here is a smaller picture mat with some charms on the corner. And then this actually flips up like this and down like this for several different pictures. And then the back, again, I left plain just because there's this flourish, some writing, and there's a lot going on in this album, so I wanted to keep the covers fairly simple. So there's the mini album. I hope Monica likes it. I know she really likes dark, rich colors. She likes vampires and lots of bling, so with any luck, she's gonna like it. Thank you so much for watching. As usual, go over to the Wild Orchid Crafts channel, check out the other design team members' projects. There's a lot of stuff going up there all the time. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great night.
There is no